protest over the government-funded projects in which contractors allegedly did not do the flood control work they were paid for or didn't do it properly. Anger over the scandal has grown since a typhoon killed more than 200 people this month. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. says lawmakers and business leaders implicated in the scandal could be jailed by Christmas. And let's cross over to Manila in the Philippines to journalist Dave Grunebaum. Dave, this is day 2 of these protests. Now, tell us, who are some of the people implicated and what exactly are they accused of?
So basically the way this would work is lawmakers would appropriate money into the national budget that would be earmarked for flood control projects. And then they would steer those projects towards particular contractors. Now, all this is coming out in public hearings and in the ongoing government investigations. That's how we're getting this information. So then after they would steer these contracts to these projects, to these contractors, the contractors would, of course, give kickback to the lawmakers. But then in addition to that, the people who are supposed to monitor these projects, this would include engineers in the Department of Public Works or in the Highways Department, these people would be paid off too to look the other way. So what's the result? Well, according to investigators, we've got many cases now where flood control projects that were marked as completed are nowhere near finished. In some cases, they're done substandard. In many cases, some of these projects marked as complete were never even started. We've got ghost projects going on here. And I've gone during the past week to some of these communities with these ghost projects. One of them to the north of where I am now in Bulacan, where people, when I was there a few days ago, were wading through water that was chest deep. And they were telling me that sometimes it's even worse than that. On Saturday, I went to a community not far from here in Quezon City that also had a ghost project. People told me after some storms, the water would reach to the ceilings of their ground floors. These people are absolutely furious. They say, how dare these people, these crooked people, swindle money away from projects that are supposed to benefit them to help mitigate these floods and line their own pockets with it. And those are among the reasons why yesterday's protests had more than 500,000 people. Today, it's a little afternoon now, but the estimate that came in from the government at 11 a.m. today was that today, day 2 of these protests, there's about 190,000 people. That could go up during the day, but you just see massive numbers of people who are absolutely furious about this corruption.
Dave, the president announced months ago that people were being investigated over this. Why such big protests now, then?
I'm sorry, I'm at the airport getting ready to fly out. I lost your question.
Dave, why are the protests?
Just repeat that, please?
Yeah, why are the protests so big now? Because the president announced these investigations were happening months ago.
Right. So these protests have been ongoing since September. And what they're trying to do is they're just trying to keep this alive, keep this going, keep this, in the news. They want to keep the pressure on. This particular round that's going on this weekend, one of the reasons why this particular one is so big, and I should say this is 3 days of protest that started yesterday and that are going to continue till Tuesday. But the first day may turn out to be the biggest crowd of all because it was on a weekend. This was organized by a particular religious group here. That has a big following, certainly not as much as the Catholic Church. 80% of this country is Catholic. This is a different religious group, and they called out their members to come. And this group is particularly good at mobilizing their believers and mobilizing the people that are with them to come out. But they invited everybody to come out.